if you're an active person, then only you can improve on your writings. A lazy person is going to be lazy in everything. So you have to correct that fundamental problem. And the problem is that you seem to somehow feel that my eyes will evade all that. Every time I will put my eyes on something, I will spot the errors every single time. And if I know that I cannot rely on this person for writing things correctly or saying things correctly, then I'm going to be more careful with it if it's going out in public and it is of great importance. This has been of great importance. This email has been of great importance. That's why I'm going to look at it like this. But more so because I don't trust you will do it correctly. Now, sometimes I will skip these errors because maybe the task was not so important at that time from my perspective of priorities. In those times, if I have skipped something, the next times I wouldn't skip. Someday is going to come to my priority, and the more delayed the error correction has taken, because I am not an English teacher of this company. So if people do not know how to communicate properly, the problem is that they have been lazy in their life. No excuse is going to work with me. So you need to just always remember that if you are making any mistake and fundamentally you know that you haven't done justice to that writing, everyone knows when they are giving an output, their deepest knows that they haven't done full justice. If they are clocking over 8 hours in just sleeping, it's obvious they cannot do justice, not just to my mission, nothing that can genuinely be called a mission. Such human beings cannot do justice to any mission. So obviously you are doing justice to no activity that you are doing, nothing at all, because you are just lazy. So if you do not wake up early in the morning and raise the bar for yourself to at least, you cannot match mine, you can come somewhere closer to where you are currently. So raise the bar for yourself. Don't streamline with my cycle of day or my schedules or how I live my life. Raise the bar for yourself first to get to that rhythm, to get to that energy. And you will have to go and run in the morning. You cannot skip it anymore. Your problem is that no English teacher will be able to teach people like you how to communicate, because you are just lazy, That's the problem. And why have you been like this? Perhaps because you had no innate desire to go out there in the world and to express something to them, to either ask for something or to give them something or to collaborate. You never really had anything of that quality that you could offer. And so you never got the training of communication. So maybe no better can be expected from you unless you try to actually raise the bar, and you never feel satisfied with yourself till you do such shady writing, like a class 5th student. That's your level, man. And that's probably the level of most of the youth. They just write so horribly. Just the whole design, the composition of what needed to reach people in this noisy world is just painful, just because they are lazy, just because they can't attend to something with full attention. And that is a sign of people who actually don't really care about the final output. They are just chilling, And then chilling happens also in the lives of people who care about the final output. That chilling is something else only. That rhythm or that energy is coming from far more energetic source. You guys will never be even able to touch it, Not in this lifetime. It's something very, very innate. It's very, very innate. obviously it's not in you, otherwise you couldn't have taken a decision in 2022 as horrible as you took of joining a college. It is a sign of a lazy mind. A mind that is not aligned with the reality of today is a lazy mind, because it has read every single time the greatest of people have recommended against wasting time in studying MBA in these colleges, especially after reading me also, it would be very, very clear to people who are studying in colleges that it's the time to drop out has come. Because otherwise they will day to day be able to see for themselves and somewhere hurt themselves inside for being so lazy that in spite of knowing the truth, they are still stuck in that rotten system of ancient courses. Not actually literally ancient, just some recent developments brought those courses in the hands of lazy system of education which decided not to somehow evolve it. So you take such decisions in 2022. So basically I am here to tell you that if you keep performing at this level of mediocrity, I would be very sorry for the world that is going to get the output which has your touch too, because your touch is only going to deteriorate the quality of something which has to buzz as naturally correct as possible. This is not naturally correct. The way you write and the decisions you have taken in life in 2022 joining college is contrary to the kind of person who can make an impact in this movement. This movement is going to make an impact with you, without you, with anyone, without anyone that I may have so far. But you won't have any impact in this movement. Puppets won't have any impact, I'm telling you. So do things that make me feel like you can lead. And a leader who is lazy just cannot be a leader. He can contribute to bosses like Bill Gates, who have glorified this act of introvertism and lethargy, but the reality is that he himself is not that, but he will need puppets to be that way, and everyone really needs it that way till they are making systems with boundaries. The one who doesn't need systems with boundaries doesn't need puppets. So I will be burdened in my mind if I am surrounded with puppets. So show me things that make me feel like you, if were to lead others, will end up actually teaching them right values. A lazy person is unfit to teach the value which is opposite to lazy. An extrovert is unfit to teach people values that are in introvertism. No entrepreneur can actually create anything with those values. Yes, of course, employees can have those values, and they can sometimes be much better if they have those values. So it's your choice. If you have to be that, then you will always be just taking my instruction and doing it without using your mind, and it's much better that you don't, because your mind doesn't have that quality yet. But if you develop that quality, then actually you are aiding me. If I have to come and check these things, and you consistently in everything you do show me how lazy you are, from the admission in college, a shady college in a shady state. I mean, that's the choice an educated statesperson, somebody from Kerala comes from Kerala. Of course, it has had some consequence which is beneficial, and that we have already discussed many times. But if we put that in isolation, then maybe your decision could have come from some other routings that are possible in a setting of UP, but it may possibly not have been that. You can't have been so far-sighted about what can be found in UP. For you, it was simple, that dumb thinking. Of course, there is a rhythm of the universe which is making those things happen. Like I said, people who don't touch the source, they are not free-willed. They don't have free will. People who touch the source are creating original waves. Everyone else is just really a human being without free will. They can assume or perceive themselves of free will, but nothing in their life is made of free will. Everything is just conditioned. They haven't gone fragmented that condition and made it the smallest and one day finished that conditioning. That is literally less than 0.00001% of the world. So everyone else may think that they're free will, but not really. Free will is something else totally. It's energy. It's energetic. It can't be lazy, you know. So it's a choice that you have to make, and through this video, maybe everyone else who knows that, wow man, my energy doesn't have that much of itself through the day as this person's, but we are made of the same body, we are made of the same food, we are made of the same air, we are breathing, eating, everything the same. Then why is it that I do not have the same energy? That question one has to ask. And if you ask yourself that, and if you make those corrections like running, it's the simplest I can tell to a dumb mind. There is a lot more that could have been said, but just the divinity in physical fitness is such that it improves the mind. So if you're not doing that, I have no hope that you will ever be able to make corrections in the way you write, and actually, for that matter, everyone else, you know, no matter how nice and useful they think their writing has been, they themselves know that they didn't perform at the level when they perform when they're in the state of flow. That state of flow comes from attention. If you're not attending to that one thing well at that time completely, then you are not going to do justice to anything. Not everyone is like J.K. Rowling. She attended to it so completely that the story is inspiring to many. So not everyone has that story. Those are the kind of people who can actually make an impact in this movement, not mediocres. Everything else so far has looked nothing but mediocre in your executions. From today, please bring that shift. Otherwise, my mind is going to be burdened with this stuff, you know. I won't be able to think about the other things that happened in front of you, from meeting with Dipendraji's team to Abhishek and so on and so forth. All these alignments are very valuable. When will I start working on them? If I have to deal with this, are you getting it?
Yes.
Just a simple clerical job has not been done correctly is damaging to the possibility of organizations. That's the reason most of the startups don't get to their goals, because nobody is paying attention to these mistakes, which can easily be passed as careless mistakes. Who the fuck is going to invest energy in teaching somebody that he was supposed to learn when he was in school? And anyone who says that teachers didn't teach is going to have a tough time talking to me about this stuff of others teaching, of anyone else from the outside teaching anything to anyone. It is the person's own rhythm that just latches on by itself. It's effortless. It's not coming from effort. Only then will it happen. If you are not in that rhythm of actually making this mission happen, actually getting the world to change, then you are not going to be able to do it. So if you are not going out to run, you absolutely are showing me the sign that you don't, either you are so dumb that you don't understand that mission-oriented life is not lived the way you had lived life earlier. It is lived through activity. It is lived like a machine. You are doing your activity through the day till you accomplish the goal. It's lived like that. Otherwise, there are others who are doing slavery of the corporate system, because they have chosen that life. They have chosen to be inefficient in life. They have chosen to not be creative in life. They have chosen to not be mission oriented in life. So why should somebody who's wired like them have any impact on anything that is mission oriented. It's not for people like those. Missions are for a different breed of people. People who understand this by themselves and go out, put on the running shoe and go run in the morning. The successful people are not fools that they're waking up early in the morning and doing their yoga. They're not fools. Till the time you don't understand what it is to live in the state of yoga, you have to do all that. That dance is important in the day. That Hatha yoga is important, the running is important, or whatever else. If people are creative, then actually they would start building furniture themselves, instead of going to gyms and lifting weights. Cutting logs and building furniture is also exercise. So that creativity I don't expect from fundamentally lazy minds. But running can be done, because even donkey can do that. So if you're not doing that, you do not understand what it is to be mission oriented. You don't understand people who built Apple and companies like Google and Facebook are so utterly fit. They wake up early in the morning and just look at them. Don't look at the Lalas of India, and don't look at the other entrepreneurs who may not be that fit, who may clearly be obese, and they would think that this is about fat shaming. Everyone in the world with a sane mind knows that the body which is lighter is easier to handle. The body which is heavier is not as easy to handle. It makes sense that all the yogis who have been even depicted as gods, mostly as efficient change makers, they've just all been shown fit. What is the reason? Why is it so? Fitness is important, and that's why the names that I am taking of the people that I am talking about, they are known to live a life of fitness. They are known to live a life of discipline. Whatever is happening around them doesn't matter to them. They have to wake up in the morning and they have to go to, many of them it's a gym. For many of them it is Surya Namaskar. Best if it is Surya Namaskar. So it's better than running. But I can't imagine somebody who is not using his lower body properly. How would he start doing inversions of the body? But if you don't do those things, you will never be able to match my rhythm. You will never be able to do things with that attention, while handling many things. So maybe from tomorrow, start.
Yes.
Don't compare your routine with either me or him. He comes in with an extremely valuable skill that actually indicates to me very clearly that this person doesn't have focus or attention problems. He can attend to something and do his job with that attention and be seated on that chair for nearly an entire day and do that activity without losing focus from it. And that's what I want. So, fair enough. It would be best for him if he also inculcates all of that which is about fitness into his life, if he thinks that his energy is also not up to the mark. It can't come without having a cause and expressing it to the world. It comes from that innately. If people are not moving energy in using that basic system of exhalation and then hitting the chord, translating it into sound, if people are not doing that, they are not really building anything. They're just really taking instructions and following and delivering on instruction. It's not the creator value that comes to them and their development and their mind. It doesn't touch the possibility of the mind like that as the creator's mind is touched. So anybody who feels for themselves, it's not like a robotic thing that everyone has to wake up early in the morning and do exercise. No, not at all. Anybody who feels that they could improve, there is some scope left for improvement in the flow of their energy through the day. If they feel tired, then they have to absolutely do this. This has to be a part of their robotic routine. Unfortunately, there are people like that who need to be taught like robots, but that's the truth. There are people like you who need to do all that robotic activity just to get themselves to be energetic. And for others, focus, there is nothing better than drawing energy out of focus, because what it does is that it makes even the subtlest in you, subtlest is the root. So when you are focused on something and doing it to the best of your attention and ability, you do not need to do anything else in life. Like Stephen Hawking did not need anything else in life. That focus gave him life. And that's what focus does. No one with that kind of focus needs to do anything else. But those who are struggling to get still to the point that they could focus on something and not say done till it is done, then they can really just be focused and attentive to that oneness that they have with their duty. And such people will not have the feeling of that lack, or won't have such dissatisfaction with their energy. They won't say through the day, oh, I'm feeling so tired, oh, Monday blues. Such people don't say such things. So then they don't really need to do anything. They're doing whatever they're doing is fine. But it's people like you who really need to do something. So you are actually, that's like not a big deal. The kind of people I mentioned about, they're just, I would still call them mediocre, because they may be focusing on something that is not really taking them to the evolution or progress or good health or positivity as they dream in their dreams, because they were focused on wrong things. So they are mediocres regardless, but you're even below them, you know.